Friday, the 7th of August, 2026. Welcome to the BMTV Midday News. I'm Tamani Kata. Thank you for choosing Zambia's trusted source for credible, balanced and timely news. We're live on Topstar, channel 114, streaming on www.bmtvzambia.com and on our Facebook and YouTube platforms as BMTV Zambia. We bring you the stories that are shaping Zambia at the moment. Let's get straight into the headlines. Government condemns political violence incidents. Government also to accelerate collaboration between UNZA and Oxford University. SADC Electoral Observation Mission launched ahead of August 13th pause. Church urges integrity, impartial policing ahead of pause. And late Ambassador Zulu interred. And now the stories in brief. Government has strongly condemned recent incidents of violence ahead of the August 13th general elections. Speaking during a joint media briefing in Lusaka, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security Dickson Matembo and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information and Media, Tabo Kawana, said government is concerned by reports and videos of political violence circulating on media platforms. The permanent secretaries allege that some of the disturbances are being deliberately orchestrated to portray the country as unstable and tarnish the image of President Hakainde Hichilema as well as the UPND administration. Mr. Matembo said some acts of violence are allegedly being orchestrated by responsible political party cadres seeking to create a false impression that the ongoing election campaigns are characterized by widespread violence. He alleged that in some instances, individuals have deliberately staged violent incidents and changed political regalia after the attacks in an attempt to shift blame to the other political parties. The permanent secretary reiterated President Hichilema's consistent stance against political violence, stressing that anyone found breaking the law would be held individually accountable. Mr. Matembo has, however, assured the nation that government remains committed to protecting the rights of citizens and maintaining peace throughout the electoral process. He has also appealed to political party players and members of the public to uphold peace before, during and after the elections, saying every citizen has a responsibility to ensure the country conducts peaceful polls on August 15th. Mr. Matembo has since called on the Zambia Police Service to promptly investigate all reports, incidents of political violence and arrest those responsible without fear or favor. Meanwhile, Mr. Kawana observed that violent incidents have been recorded in western, northern and southern provinces, adding that authorities are aware of alleged plans to stage similar occurrences in other areas. Mr. Kawana has also accused some media outlets of promoting political propaganda during the campaign period, claiming that stations are being used to advance partisan interests. The permanent secretary maintained that Zambia has remained peaceful over the past 5 years and credited President Hichilema's leadership for promoting national unity and restraint. Government says it will accelerate collaboration between the University of Zambia, Oxford University and other institutions to drive business, marketing and research opportunities for Zambia. Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kangwa, said Cabinet has welcomed the proposal for Oxford to become a hub for Zambia's marketing and business engagement. Mr. Kangwa was speaking during a courtesy call by Oxford University Lord Mayor Chewe Munkonge. Mr. Kangwa said government will work with Zambia Development Agency in partnership with Zambia's High Commission in the UK, Oxford University and other universities to explore concrete programs. The Secretary to the Cabinet said strengthening ties with global ranked institutions such as Oxford will help position Zambia for investment, skills transfer and trade promotion, while also creating opportunities for UNZA students and researchers. Oxford University Lord Mayor Chewe Mukonge pledged to strengthen ties between Zambia and the United Kingdom through city twinning, economic promotion and closer university partnerships and has accepted an offer to serve as ambassador for the University of Zambia. Mr. Munkonge said Miss Munkonge, I beg your pardon, said her priority is to work with universities to expand collaboration and market Zambia globally. She added that the city-to-city cooperation, the Lord said discussions are already underway between Lusaka and Oxford. In another story, the SADC Electoral Observation Mission for the 2026 general elections of Zambia has been launched in Lusaka. The mission, comprising of 106 personnel from 10 member states, will deploy observers to all 10 provinces of the country to observe the pre- and post-election phases. During the launch, head of mission Samuel Tembenu stated that the event was not merely ceremonial but a platform to inform citizens and the international community about the mission goals in strengthening democracy and upholding SADC principles as well as guidelines governing democratic elections. Mr. Tembenu, who is also former Malawi Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, highlighted that the SEOM would assess issues such as freedom of expression and assembly, the independence of the Electoral Commission, delimitation of boundaries, nomination procedures, and political parties' conduct. He further added that the neutrality of forces, media houses, civic education, polling accessibility, ballot distribution, voting and counting procedures, mechanisms for resolving electoral disputes is also assessed to determine if election is free and fair. Meanwhile, Mr. Tembenu called on registered voters to exercise their civic rights and vote peacefully and urged the youth to resist involvement in political violence. He said by doing so, the elections would reflect Zambia's democratic maturity. Earlier, Director of the SADC Organ of Politics, Defense and Security Affairs at the SADC Secretariat, Kula Tulesane, assured that the mission does not interfere in electoral processes, stressing that its role is only to observe. He noted that the election observation was a data-intensive exercise requiring prior training of capable personnel. Professor Telesani further indicated that under the directive of the Ministerial Committee of the organ, the Secretariat, in collaboration with the Electoral Institute for Sustainable Democracy in Africa, have trained hundreds of observers across 9 SADC member states. The Lusaka Ministers' Fellowship has called on stakeholders in the electoral process to uphold integrity and adhere to the Electoral Code of Conduct to ensure peaceful general elections next Thursday. Lusaka Ministers' Fellowship Acting Chairperson Christopher Mwale says political parties, candidates and citizens have the responsibility to conduct themselves peacefully and respect the country's electoral laws throughout the voting process. Bishop Mwale adds that the Zambia police should enforce the law fairly by taking action against anyone who breaks it regardless of political affiliation. The clergyman says selective application of the law has the potential to undermine public confidence in the electoral process. Meanwhile, Bishop Mwale has called on the church in the country to remain non-partisan, saying it should continue serving as a moral voice that promotes peace, love, reconciliation, and national unity rather than aligning itself with any political party. He explained that the church's responsibility before, during, and after elections is to preach love, forgiveness, tolerance, and reconciliation so that the country remains united despite political differences. Bishop Mwale also disclosed that the Lusaka Ministers' Fellowship has been holding regular intercessory prayers across the city since January, bringing together pastors from different constituencies to pray for peaceful, free, and fair elections. He has further urged all Zambians to safeguard the country's peace, saying violence would only undermine the freedoms which citizens have enjoyed over the years. And finally, the late Zambia's ambassador to China, Ivan Zulu, has been put to rest at Musansa, his home village in Chikankata district of Southern Province. Government was represented at the burial ceremony by Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Permanent Secretary Margaret Mioba. Ms. Mioba led hundreds of mourners in laying wreaths, followed by the deceased parent Andrew Zulu, children, grandchildren, members of the diplomatic corps, friends, and other mourners. Speaking during the burial ceremony, Salvation Army Church Chikankata congregation member Clifford Matapapeta urged the bereaved family to remain united beyond the funeral. Mr. Matapapeta also encouraged family members and other mourners to continue trusting God despite the circumstance. In a vote of thanks, the late ambassador's brother, Ferdinand Zulu, commended government and President Hakainde Hichilema for according his brother an official funeral. The burial ceremony was witnessed by senior government officials, the clergy, members of the diplomatic corps, traditional leaders, relatives, and friends, among others. Ambassador Zulu, 64, died on the 30th of July 2026 at the University Teaching Hospital in Lusaka. That brings us to the end of the BMTV Midday News. Thank you for your company. Stay connected with us on Topstar Channel 114. Stream live anytime on www.bmtv.com and follow BMTV Zambia on Facebook. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube for breaking news and updates throughout the day. On behalf of the entire production team, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day and do join us later again at 18 hours for our main news bulletin. Good afternoon.